Good afternoon, everybody. It's Steve and Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief of Microsoft-oriented news for March the 9th, 2011. And just sort of as a preamble, Paul's underneath a bit of a tornado watch, I understand, so his video may go in and out on us.
Yeah, I mean, my net connection has been unstable is probably the politest word I have for it this morning. It's been out more often than it's been on today. Yeah, down where I am today is severe weather warnings and lashing rain outside, and I heard tornado storm or tornado. There we go with the video. The tornado warnings earlier this morning, so the tornado sirens are going off and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it may affect my net connection. It already is affecting.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get on with this. So we've still got the connection. We'll get the news done with. I wrote this up yesterday and I found it absolutely hilarious. As we all know, Microsoft's right in the middle of a law, filing a. I guess they want the USPTO to drop Apple's application for trademarking App Store, which we talked about before. But their reasoning for wanting them to do it is because Apple's font size in their brief is too small.
Okay.
Okay, now to be fair, there is a reason behind it, because the USPTO specifies that briefs can be no longer than 25 pages and a font size of 11 points.
Okay.
Now, yeah, what Apple has done, or what Microsoft is accusing Apple of doing, is using a smaller font size to be able to get something like 31 pages into 25.
So in other words, you're saying, look, Apple have not actually applied properly.
Exactly.
Therefore, it needs to be refiled. Now,
yes.
You know, as silly as we may think this is, in terms of the rules of how these things are supposed to be done, there's a reason why these rules are in place.
Yep.
And that's to make sure that everybody is treated on an even keel and a fair ground. Because what happens first is, I know you might think this sounds silly, but right, let's say Apple reduces the size so they can squeeze 35 pages into the space of 20, or whatever the case may be, okay? Well, then the next company that wants to have even more puts it into a smaller font size.
Yes.
And suddenly these things are unreadable. They're unreadable as it is anyway, with just the sheer volume of supporting crap they throw into them. But, I mean, if you bend the rules for one player, you have to bend the rules for everybody.
Yeah.
So if I submitted a trademark, look, it happened to what's her name? That other, I was going to say Canadian export. She's not. Alaskan export. Sarah Palin and her daughter individually applied for trademarks of their names, and they were rejected because they didn't sign them.
Yeah.
You know, if they let Apple's through after Apple doesn't follow the guidelines, then everybody else can say, well, look, you let Apple through, they didn't do it, I want to do it, I want it. You know, and it becomes a minefield then. And you know what? Simply, Apple should know better.
Yep. They're just trying to game the system
I know this looks pissy from Microsoft, but you know what? If this was a court case, it's this kind of thing that can get somebody left off on a technicality.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Microsoft is obviously trying to stop Apple getting what I consider to be a very bad trademark, a trademark that they shouldn't have.
Yep.
And, you know, fair enough. If Apple screw up on the technicalities, then Apple should be called on the technicalities. Some people will call this pissy, and I'd say, you know what, fair dues to Microsoft lawyers for spotting that Apple had screwed up the process.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're earning their money. There we go again with my video. I nearly go half tempted to go audio only for this.
That's okay. I'll blend in some stuff. The big news out this morning is that Microsoft's confirmed that they, at South by Southwest on the 14th of March, they will be launching the final release of Internet Explorer 9.
On the 14th.
On the 14th, yes.
Okay, so we have IE 9 on the 14th.
Yeah.
Mystery announcement on the 15th.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Fair dues to... You know, I'm telling you, I've been playing with IE 9 a lot lately. I've moved to it as my default browser, and... with the RC, I'm not feeling the love, man. There's a lot in IE 9 that I'm just not liking. You know, for example, in Chrome and in Firefox, you can right-click on the picture and get the URL of it. Can't do that in IE9 RC. So when I'm, you know, with the CMS system that we have for publishing, where you right-click on an image to select the URL, and then you put it into the custom fields so that, you know, your thumbnail is working on. I can't do that in IE9. I have to right click on the image, select properties, wait for the properties dialog to come up, highlight, copy the image URL, and close that dialog box, and then paste it into the thing, rather than just right click and copy in, you know, the two other major browsers. Lots of little things like that with the RC of IE9 really getting under my skin lately.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe in the Internet Explorer 10, they'll solve that problem.
Yeah, solve problems that everybody else has been doing for the last 3 or 4 years in 10.
Because according to the NextWeb, we may see a preview for IE10 at the Mix conference, which is Microsoft's web-based oriented conference that they have every year.
See, I don't think that should be anything special. Look, I just upgraded Chrome this morning to the latest version without any fanfare.
Yeah.
You know, this should just be an ongoing thing. It shouldn't be IE9 anymore. It should just be IE. Right? Forget the 9, forget everything. It should just be IE, and it should just be continuously updating in the background. Of course you announce major new features, but, you know, and you do your press release and you do your show as to what's going to come. But I think it's time to drop this moniker of this numerical thing at the end of the names and just have it IE, right?
Yeah.
Chrome is at what, 10 now?
Yep.
Chrome is at version 10 now, that's what I updated to or whatever. But it's not called Chrome 10, it's called Chrome. Okay?
Yeah.
Chrome is the one that has dropped this, and I can understand why they want it for differentiating between earlier versions, but where you have this, I love what Chrome does, which is just auto-update in the background to the next version. You don't even know what happens.
Yeah.
One time you're using it at 9, next time you turn it on, it's automatically 10, and that's it. And I think all browsers should go that way, and it'll make things so much easier and less confusing for end users too.
Yeah. Tom Warren over at WinRumors is suggesting that Microsoft is going to detail the future Windows Phone's roadmaps sometime in May. May 25th, possibly.
Dude, can they even just get the stuff out the door that they already told us about before telling us about what's supposed to be coming next, while we still don't even have... Do you have Nodo on your Windows Phone 7 yet?
Not that I know of. I'm not sure. Hang on a second. What's the version number for that?
Dude, you would know if you had Nodo because you would have had to hook it up to Zune and install.
Because I've still got it saying no updates found.
Okay, well that could be a TELUS thing too.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up the number. Because I honestly don't know what that number is. No, but the ROMs has been leaked as of today for some phones.
Yeah, the HTCs.
Yeah. But I don't know. But, you know, seriously, let's get the platform sorted right now, telling us what's coming in the future. I know this is probably some attempt at a PR spin. I really hope that at this Microsoft just comes out and says, you know what, folks, this is what we want to do with Windows Phone 7, and I hope Microsoft really has the balls to do this, because I would love to see somebody do this, because
Yeah.
somebody needs to stand up to the carriers, right?
Yeah.
And they'd say, look, folks, this is our plan. For all of you who are wondering why you're not getting updates, it's your providers.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm actually going to be writing a post about that in a little bit. Anyway, Mary Jo Foley, the queen of rumors and leaks, has Microsoft Music Video Services futures. The plot thickens with Ventura. So apparently a new group formed underneath the Entertainment and Devices Division. They say, who are we? We are Ventura Media Services, an agile team working on the beginnings of some very large-scale projects. We incubate, innovate, and iterate. We're all about building services the right way. So focused around music and video. One of the rumors is this may be the replacement for Zune, or to extend Zune.
I would say more an extension rather than a replacement, because as I read the details of this, you know, they're talking about services that you focus on video discovery, on comparison, on rating. That doesn't, to me, sound like a content delivery platform. It sounds like
competition to iTunes and Pandora.
Not really. But isn't that what Zune is supposed to be in itself?
Yeah.
You know?
But
well, I could see it as I could see them as rolling out services and technologies that would be rolled into Zune, or whatever Zune ends up becoming called finally when it's rebranded. You know, to better think Pandora-like stuff, where if you thumb up one song that you're listening to, then it knows that you like that, and it tries to find songs that are similar and artists that are similar, etc., and become a better recommendation engine for you in that respect.
Yeah.
And in that case, we could see a recommendation engine that is rolled into Bing, rolled into Zune, rolled into everywhere.
Well,
and be massive.
One of the big problems, though, I think they're going to have is this, you know, supporting multiple countries. Because, like, I know in the U.S. you've got a little feature in Zune called Smart DJ, which is actually not bad. But in Canada, they've removed it.
Well, you know what? Microsoft has to build for the market.
Yep.
And they have to build for each. You know, they can only roll out what they can roll out to each individual market due to laws and content licensing deals and all that sort of stuff, you know? Yeah. So, you know, everybody faces that same problem. That's why we still don't have Spotify over here, etc., and we just, you know, we just have to hope that eventually the music industries in each individual region will pull their heads out of their collective arses and cop on. And the same as well for services like PayPal and everybody else too, you know. People, you're losing money left, right, and center because you won't come to a sort of central line, you know, middle field on all this stuff.
I would love nothing better than to hop onto the marketplace. I know there's several apps that I would love to have on my phone, but I can't because I know I don't have a credit card. Blah 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 blah. But the fact is, if Microsoft Canada supported PayPal the same way the U.S. version does,
but it's not Microsoft Canada's fault that they don't support PayPal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Microsoft Canada hasn't made the decision yet. They're looking into it, and I have this on firm source that this is a Microsoft decision. Nothing else but that.
Yeah, but there must be a legal reason behind it. They're not going to walk away from an easy payment solution just because. Well,
from what I've been told, okay, Microsoft Canada is watching the situation. They're evaluating the situation.
Yes. What is the situation? What is it that they have to watch? Because PayPal has been around for a fuck ton of time.
Tiger Direct Canada uses PayPal. Even Barnes and Noble.
Even Stephen Hudson uses it.
Yeah.
Dear God.
But, you know, so I'm not sure what anyway. Well, that's, you know, neither here nor there.